Hi everyone, welcome to Engelgeist. This is Dan. This is your daily forecast for all signs. It is a collective reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You have to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it does fit, by all means utilize it. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong and nothing is broken. You're not off your path. It just may not be your reading. This reading is originally created for Tuesday the 15th of November, but if you're seeing it on a different date, then by all means, if it fits your situation, please utilize it. Check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my videos for those of you that are new. There's some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about, cards and decks that I'm using during the reading, and how to follow me on social media and easy ways to support the channel. The best and easiest ways to support the channel are hitting the thumbs up button if you like the content, sharing the video out, subscribing to the channel, and leaving me a question or comment. Now, I will refer back to the Sunday underpinning reading, which populates in the lower left-hand corner. So if you hear me talking about cards that you don't see here in this present reading, I'm referring back to those cards because they're at play in the background or underneath what we're seeing today. So let's get into these cards and see what's going on. And our card for the day is the Magus, or the Magician. I love him. I love him because, first off, he doesn't necessarily appear like a him. He looks very androgynous. It could be a male or a female. I also love, I need to turn on the heat because it is freezing. My hands are freezing cold, sorry. I love the red color, which to me indicates passion, desire, action. The Magus, or the Magician, is about creativity. It's about having everything that we need at our disposal. I also love, which is not traditional with this card, there's a couple things that are not traditional with this card that I'm going to point out really quick. This deep dark green background is like a deep healing, right? It's a little bit darker than I would associate with the green of, say, the heart chakra, but it's like this depth of healing within us. I also love this moon behind his head, meaning he's listening to his intuition, he's listening to his own magic, his own truth, while he's creating. There is a new door here, or a new opportunity to look at a situation from a place of empowerment, creativity, possibility. And we were looking at that Eight of Swords. We have that Five of Swords underpinning this from the Sunday reading, right? And so, I mean, Five of Pentacles. And that was about like climbing up out of a situation where we maybe feel like we've been left out. I think that this is us getting over that setback, because that would be the Five of Pentacles, is a setback of some sort, and taking new steps to create something from a place of empowerment, from a place of connectivity, from a place of being connected to both the material and the spiritual world. Having our mind, our body, our soul, our emotions all kind of working together to sort of inform our decisions around what we want to create. I love that he's listening to the moon behind him and the intuition, and he's also he's sort of facing the past and looking at the past, right, which would be some of that Eight of Swords energy that we've been seeing. But he's also kind of contemplating, okay, so that went on in the past, but what do I want my future to look like? How do I want to actively create my future, and to do so in a way that might appear like completely magical? All of the blossoms around him too, that's another thing that I love about this, is that there's beauty, growth, abundance around us, to be created, to be had at our own disposal. And I think that we need to realize that today, take action in that, feel the vibrancy of the red color and the healing of the deep green, right? Through listening to our intuition, through understanding our power, through understanding our ability to create, even in the face of adversity. So there could be new thought or new ideas that come to us that through looking at the past or looking at our limiting thoughts over the last few days, we might actually be able to transform them into something new that works better for us, that surprises us even, that feels almost impossible, right? To me, the Magician creates exactly that, magic, right? So he's creating something out of nothing in a way, or out of a situation that might feel familiar, but in that familiarity, he um, has learned something in the process, right? He's not fully fixated on the past. He's fixated on what he can make blossom and bloom, what he can grow. There's also a connection here to like I would say fertility, abundance, and beauty with all of these flowers around him. It's about staying focused more on possibility rather than limitation today. That focus on possibility empowers us to make changes, take steps or action, create magic in our life, or new creativity to create new pathways or new opportunities for ourselves that may lead us through some of the limitations that I was feeling in this week's readings, in this Sunday reading. The Sunday reading was this funny thing, and I don't know if I fully explained it, but it felt like a lot of annoyances, a lot of like minor arcana cards that like kind of were annoying at best, right, and getting in our way. But what they end up doing is if we work with them and we become aware of them and we face them, we actually utilize them to set ourselves up for something to come in the future. And this magician is the very magic or creation that is to take place. This is where we become empowered by, say, maybe our limitations or the setbacks that we've experienced this week or that we are in the process of experiencing. We're not hopeless to them. We're actually being challenged by them to look at them, unpack them, face them, and then utilize them to sort of create something different, something more powerful. The other interesting thing about this magician is that white dress that they're wearing. There's a purity and a connection to spirit here, and an action or a desire here. And remember, this grounding stone for this week is desire, right? That helps us to look at things maybe through a different lens, a lens of possibility and probability, a lens of stepping up to the plate and utilizing all of um, the assets that we have within ourselves, and we have many when we see that magician involved. The magician has access to all four elements, and he is about like not listening to others, doing it his own way, making it happen. There's also a peacefulness to this card that I really like. I like that he's seated. Generally, we see the magician standing up. I like that he's seated on the ground, like he's very grounded in what he's doing. He's very connected to the material world and how he wants it to be. And then, still with that moon behind him and the green of the emotions or the healing behind him, he's also connected to the emotional realm of ourselves and to the intuition or spiritual realm through that moon. So listening to our inner guidance and voice is going to be key today. Now let's look to the hip hop oracle. We have Cash Doll. Finesse. Okay, Cash Doll. She is feeling it. Okay. Now, what I love about it is it's cash doll, where cash to me is abundance, and doll is about still loving on ourselves, just like we had gangsta boo. Yesterday, we might have had to fight a little bit more with that gangsta aspect, but the doll aspect here is holding ourselves in a beautiful way, right? Understanding our beauty, understanding our worth is this beautiful gold necklace around her. The purity of who we are is this white dress that is also similar to the magus, right? And then we have this red swirl down here, which matches the red of the magus's dress. There's action, purity, clarity, and an awareness of what we're worth in all of this, our own beauty. And I don't mean physical beauty, I mean the beauty that we may have within, the intelligence we have within, the wisdom, the magic that we have within. Finesse is about finding that, touching on that, utilizing that in such a way that it works out like, I don't want to say perfectly, because perfect is usually a trap word, right? Perfect doesn't exist in our universe, but having that finesse is about finding that answer. Even the moon matches her necklace, right, in color. So it's like finding that magic within us, the magician within us, the assets we have, and then finessing them in such a way that really works for us. Now let's see what Cash Doll has to say. And I also think too, just from the idea of Cash Doll, it's like cash to me would be about material things, bringing about better relationships, money, whatever we need through finessing that and believing in that, desiring that. But also the doll aspect is about loving what we're doing even while we're in the middle of it, like holding a sweetness to it, right? So let's read her story. It's sophistication, elegance, couth, class, and grace. Cash Doll's trajectory in rap differs from most of her peers and predecessors. The Detroit rap maven was bubbling in the local circuit before she had climbed toward regional fame. When a less than favorable recording contract blocked her from releasing music, she built a social media presence and had big rappers co-sign who had all lobbied for her release from her label. Okay, so that could be the Five of Pentacles setback. Sure enough, it happened with cash in her name, and she inked a major label deal and dropped her first single, Ice Me Out. While Cash had her own story of perseverance, like so many hip hop queens before her, she maintained a level of diplomacy throughout. She embodied the phrase, never let them see you sweat, and ended the victor. She may be a doll, but Cash proves she's not one to be played with. You're finding it harder to conceal your feelings, even despite your best efforts. It's time to put on your game face and take the high road. Let the Cash Doll card be your guide. So even when adversity is staring you down, you never even blink an eye. Sure, staying cool, calm, and collected can be hard, but haters love to spot weakness. Don't give them that satisfaction. When they go low, you go high. And I think that that's also the power of the magician. The magician doesn't understand limitations. They work around them through magic, through accessing their assets, their abilities, and making things happen. Let's look to the clarifiers. We have first out Three of Wands. Wands is the spirit. The Three of Wands is about looking out into the future in expectation of it already coming to us. You know, the three is also that idea of the mind, body, spirit being in balance, but probably more so with the spirit leading. What are our dreams? What are our desires? Looking out onto the horizon, how do we want things to look? What do we need to finesse to make those things happen? What kind of magic do we need to make happen to get exactly where we need to be? That's what I think the Three of Wands is about, is searching out into the future, dreaming spiritually about where we want to be, and then the sort of expectation of it coming into us, like drawing it in, manifesting it in, using the magic and the finesse that we see here in the Magician and Cash Doll. The second card is the Ace of Wands. So new beginnings, new ideas. Again, spirit, again, attaching to that Magician card. There is an opportunity to turn things over here, or something to be presented to us that presents that new, what is the word, guys? Desire within us that we need to work towards or take steps towards and begin putting in place plans to make that happen. It may feel impossible or out of place or not quite here yet with that Three of Wands and the Ace of Wands usually oftentimes being unexpected, but the magician understands how magic works, right? The magician understands how manifestation works. Sometimes we have to live in the vibration of the expectation of it and then allow it to be presented to us. The Ace of Wands says that it will. The last card is the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is associated with the sign of Sagittarius, but it is major arcana, meaning the wheel is spinning in our favor. Sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly, but we have to trust, and maybe that's the pause that the Three of Wands has. It's like almost build the dream within us from a deep spiritual level, and then allow the steps or the paths, the opportunities to be presented to us through the Wheel of Fortune via the Ace of Wands, right? So there might be some patience involved in this, and that would also tie into sort of finesse. You know, Cash Doll had to be patient with her career, but she was able to overcome the adversity and make it happen through, you know, the belief and help of others. Now here is the grounding stone. It is on carnelian, which associates with the first chakra, right? Again, grounding. I love that this gives me fire energy, which we have here in the two of the Wands cards. Also, the orange color that we have in the Wheel of Fortune. Believing in the miracle that this too shall pass, that this can shift, that we can even shift this ourselves through our own finesse and magic, really is the belief here. right? Yesterday's stone was also on carnelian, and it was about embracing that, embracing the desire. Now we embrace the miracle, and we live in that miracle, and we allow that miracle to be placed in front of us via the Ace of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. Like I said, it may take time, but be patient, finesse everything, and understand you are working magic during this time. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.